I'm here with Gail Powery, one of our parents and TPO leaders, and Katie Eller, a 5th grade teacher, and we're here to talk about diversity and inclusion at Trinity. Now, I want to just say this is a challenging conversation, but it's so important for the school to have this. And just 3 or 4 weeks ago, Katie and Gail and 30 or 40 other people went through a 2-day training with an organization called Renew Partnerships. We really love Renew because they're a Christian organization that is working in this space, trying to help schools like ours be genuinely Christian and really enhance what they're doing around ethnic and racial diversity and inclusion and equity. And this was a great organization, and we really benefited from this training. So today we're going to talk about this and just share some of what we learned with the whole Trinity community.
To get into the core of, of this issue, it's going to take time. And we do need a lot more time, definitely. But what surprised me was that by the end of the second day, I felt that Chad and Michaela had equipped us to at least start moving, towards finding ways to bring unity, in our community. And that was encouraging that, we could start now. And we still, this is a process and it's going to take time. But just that short time that we had together was definitely helpful for us to start moving forward.
Yeah.
And so I teach language arts in 5th grade. And I think a lot about the books that I'm sharing with my students, the conversations that we're having. And there's a great TED Talk called The Danger of a Single Story. Mm-hmm. It's Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who's the Nigerian author. Mm-hmm. And she talks about how as a kid, she's a writer, but she wrote even as a kid, and how her stories would be reflective of all the books she'd written that were mostly based in England, that were very different from her experience in Nigeria, and how unintentionally, this sort of had these unintended consequences, she says, of thinking that there's only one story to tell and only one story worth sharing. And so I think about the stories that our students are hearing and how I can bring a breadth of stories to them, how they can feel that their stories are valuable.
And one of the things that the Koinonia Committee will be doing is helping oversee an assessment or a climate survey that we're going to do sometime probably later this year of the whole community, so that we can know, because these are hard questions. There's no question we recognize that these conversations are difficult, and people have different opinions, they come from different places, they have different stories. And so being able to listen well to the Trinity community, where are we? What are people thinking? What are the questions they have? What are the concerns and fears that they have? What are the hopes and dreams? And that is that climate survey that we are planning to do. And we'll be hearing more about that as we go forward. But I just want to thank you for being here with me this morning, and also for being part of this training. It was an enormous amount of time, but I think it was well worth it. And so thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.